Most businesses don't just use one system, they use multiple systems to operate their business. And there's gaps because they don't talk to each other. So there's no really good data. There's not really good processes of visibilities that business owners have.
What are you seeing people put into their business to make this become real? Welcome to Outsource to Profits. We are so excited. We have Zulfiya here. We are going to talk about AI and the profitability of AI. But Zulfiya, do you mind explaining to the audience who you are and what you do and how you serve the world?
Absolutely. My name is Zulfiya Forsythe. I run Omadli Group. We're a data analytics and AI company. We help businesses to buy back their time every day with tech solutions.
Fantastic. Now, let me tell you where I'm taking AI, and this will bring forward all the stories. So my company is growing at 15% compounded a month. So We went from 0 to 50 employees in under a year and a half. We'll be probably 200 employees in a year or so. So I have a talent acquisition challenge. I have 3 full-time recruiters, and every single role has 150 applicants. So you can see the bottleneck of the challenge.
Yes.
We're building, and I won't bore everybody to tears. I call it the 4 or 5 levels that we're building. But long and the short is we're going to be using AI to not only sift through resumes, then score resumes, then predict the ability when a resume comes in, their ability to look a lot like our successful teammates, and predict their ability to be successful in this role long term. And then eventually, where I want to turn it is to an outbound strategy with talent acquisition, where we take all inputs from LinkedIn, resumes, social media, and we go out into the market and find people that look like the avatar that we're creating. So that's where I want to take it. Well, I'd love to know from you, where are the most critical or most obvious places that people, and especially for the audience listening right now, where they should be aiming their guns around AI? And we're not just talking about copywriting, like things that will change the profitability of their business.
Sure. So I've been talking to a lot of businesses, helping a lot of businesses across many different verticals. But the theme is one. You still see nowadays the business owners or executive team, the high expensive overhead that are spending time on manual entry or manual processes. It does not matter if they're shuffling, for example, reporting or shuffling emails or clicking in a bunch of systems to get some type of insight or typing in something. Those are administrative works. And another thing that I'm seeing as well, there's lots of gaps between systems. Most businesses don't just use one system. They use multiple systems to operate their business. And there's gaps because they don't talk to each other. So there's no really good data. For example, data infrastructure, there's not really good processes of visibilities that business owners have. So this is a perfect opportunity for AI to come in and actually, first of all, assess, let's say, what are the business owners doing on a repetitive basis 3 times?
This is great. So actually, you mentioned something that's really important, and it's around communication, both internally and to the customer. So the pillars in my company, one of the most important kind of like value drivers or pillars, first principles for the company, is overt communication. I believe that most customer churn starts and stops with a breakdown in communication, and it allows the customer to metastasize like evil thoughts, and then they eventually churn.
Yeah.
Long of the short is, as an example, we use Google Meet. And a lot of people would say like, Google Meet's not the best video experience. Yeah. Except Gemini is tied to our Google Meet.
Yeah.
So as I'm talking, it's transcribing. Then what we have is an AI prompt that reads everything from a sales call and turns it into a MEDDIC, which is a sales qualification process, turns it into a 1-page summary that even a 5-year-old could read. It's like perfectly laid out, and it helps us qualify this opportunity, and it sweeps it into HubSpot. We do the same thing post customer calls, our weekly calls, our monthly partner pulse calls with customers, and we sweep it into Monday.com.
Love that.
The reason this is important is internally, we're always on the same page because a 5-year-old could read the notes from every live call of every customer.
Yes.
And 2, we can take those notes and put them in an email to a customer. So there's no confusion. Like, you said this, you
Yes.
said this was a priority.
Yes.
And it's not like you trying to like document your notes
Yes.
as you're doing it. So can you tactically share with the audience now, go from theory to practicum? What are things, whether it's large language models, tools, platforms, what are you seeing people put into their business to make this become real?
Yes, actually, I want to build up on the one that you just talked about. 27% of sales fail because the salesperson at the time of the sale does not have information. What do I mean by that? The information is dispersed in Google Docs and Slacks and everywhere, basically. So if they need to quickly see what was the last, did we sell to this type of a customer before? And what did we sell? How much did we sell for? They have to go, they're on a call and they have to quickly go and that's it. Like, they don't have that information, but AI helps to aggregate it, just like you said, right? In CRM now, they just look and quickly able to see, okay, well, this is the information because it aggregated all the information from different spots and uploaded for that type of a customer. So now they know, for example, what was the last time they talked about, what were they talked about, how much they sell to this person right there, right then. And then another thing I want to build on, every call, for example, in my team right now, what we do is we have let's say stand-ups. Every time we have a stand-ups, it's recorded. Now it's connected to Asana and it's creating tasks for us. So the recorded call is dispersing into our Asana tickets for a corresponding person, for the corresponding client. So now people are not spending time basically, olden days, right? You don't have anything recorded. Now you write down your task. The task is already in Asana, so you're reviewing it. So I still want to emphasize how important it is to have a person, human in the loop, but now human in the loop comes in the beginning and the end. So they are not in every step of the process logging in that task, for example. Now the task is in there.
This is great. There's a gentleman named Dan Martell that talks about the 10-80-10. And this is where us founders get involved in the 10-80-10 or an executive.
Yes.
The first 10% is us founders setting a vision. Where are we trying to fly the plane?
Yes.
The 80% is done by other people, in this instance,
Yes.
done by AI. And
Yes.
the last 10% is the founder looping back and making
Yes.
sure, is the destination we're flying to, are we on course? Are we doing it on time, on budget? Are we doing the right thing?
Yes. He's my coach, by the way, Jamie.
Oh, is he really? Okay. So Dan and I ski together. This is fantastic.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So we go on the Maple Summit. We go on that big ski trip every year that he might have talked about.
During the calls. Yeah.
So question for you is I get asked this question all the time. Is AI going to replace people, or where do people get involved with AI?
Yeah.
I have a very specific opinion about it, but I'd love to know your thoughts around AI and its utility versus replacement theory.
Yes.
And you just talked about you need to have people
Yes.
tied to AI. So what is your thesis on this?
100%. My biggest, now more than ever, we need experts in the field. We need someone who is human in the loop overseeing what AI is producing, because it's a large language model. So it's a statistical model that needs supervision. So think of AI as your virtual employee, every person's virtual employee. But more than ever, we need someone who can monitor it, oversight it, to critique what the output is. Otherwise, people can just make uninformed and poor decisions if there's no experts. So sometimes what people think, oh, well, I don't have to be subject matter anymore. I just over reliance on AI. Well, if you ever noticed when you talk to ChatGPT, it sounds so nice to you. Like, have you ever interacted it? And when you call it out, even on the issue, like it lies to you, but it won't blink an eye. It sounds so professional that some people, if they're not experts in their field, like if they're trying to calculate, for example, the interest rate, compound interest, let's say what my principal payments are going to be. And if they don't know what's the correct way of calculating it and over rely on the AI, it will just bluntly lie. And when you confront it, it said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me try again." So we don't want people to run into be in a position where they are not educated, where they're not investing in their own personal growth, and now they kind of, failing, basically.
Interesting. How do people get a hold of you to talk about AI best practices, and how do you help them specifically?
Absolutely. So I'm on all social media. It's Zulfiya Forsythe and Omadli Group. You'll find me there on LinkedIn. And before, I also wanted to, can I add one more instance on how businesses could win with AI? I think this is
Yeah,
one
no,
that's
that'd be
really
great.
interesting. So everybody probably knows of Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins recently came up with his new service. It's a new AI, I would say, that says Tony Robbins is available for 24/7. So here's the thing. Every professional and their domain expertise now can leverage AI to make money while they sleep. You can call it passive income. So how does it work? What Tony he has years of learning materials, years of helping people, probably documented. We do have it, right? We've seen it online on YouTube's. So now he has it all information, his intellectual property, together with AI. Now AI has his voice, his brand, how he helps people, what kind of people come to him, what kind of solutions he provided for certain particular, say, person or companies or corporation, how he coaches them. Now he has an AI bot that basically answers 24/7 while Tony sleeps. AI is working for him and making him money. So anyone could leverage that potential. We're talking about law firms, tax practice. We talk about business coaches, for example, or we talk about medical professionals even, or some type of maybe a therapist, right? It just can go in so many different verticals, so many different applications. But the key is, again, human in the loop. The key is making sure the data is verified, the data is scrutinized to make sure it actually gives you very reliable responses. But yeah, this is one of the ways.
This is fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being on Outsource to Profits and this great insights, making this practical around what we could be doing to drive greater gross margins, improve cost to customer acquisitions, costs which ultimately lead to greater profitability.
Absolutely. Yeah. Find me on LinkedIn, on Instagram. And if you message me profit, I will send you the AI assistant, free AI assistant for you that I know that you're coming from this podcast.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.